Welcome to a new edition of the Neon Jazz interview series with Jazz Hammond B-3 cat Jimmie Smith. He glowed about his latest album, Live in Music City, recording in front of an eclectic crowd in Nashville, covering the songs of his hero with the same name on the Hammond B-3. He talked about being based in Atlanta, Georgia these days and splitting time between being a pastor and a musician, along with so much more. Please get to know him and dig this interview, my friends.
Jimmie, thank you for taking a minute out. I love the album. I'm looking forward to talking to you about it.
Oh, man, I'm so super excited.
Right on. So let's go ahead and dive right in here and talk about this album. It's a great album. You can hear it. You can hear the energy. You can feel the crowd. It sounds like you were waiting for this moment your whole life. Talk to me about this project.
Man, I'm super excited, man, about this project. It's been a long time coming to really just pay tribute and just, honor to Jimmie Smith, the jazz legend who made the Hammond B-3 famous for what it is today in so many sectors of the music and sound and the jazz and blues back in the 1960s. And so I really wanted to give, by having the same name, no relation, but we just happen to have the same name. And I grew up playing the Hammond B-3 in church. Man, I'm endorsed by the Hammond Organ Company. We were at NAMM in Anaheim, California, and we were sitting having a meeting, and we came up with an idea like, hey, let's pay tribute to Jimmie Smith, the Hammond jazz legend. And so that night, man, was absolutely powerful. It was crazy. We were at the Rutledge right in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. So that's why we call it Live in Music City. Jimmie Smith plays Jimmie Smith, and I spelled my name with an I-E. He spelled his name with a Y. And, man, it was an incredible, incredible night. People felt great. And when you listen to this album, you really feel great, positive energy, all good vibes, all through the album.
Without a doubt. So where were you born and raised?
So I was born in Buffalo, New York. I am originally from Buffalo, New York. I live in Atlanta, Georgia now. And but man, I come from Buffalo, New York, and a great city. Of course, people know about the Buffalo Bills and the Buffalo chicken wings and all that, man. But and Jimmie Smith used to come to Buffalo, of course, when I was a kid, and he used to play in Buffalo quite a bit. And it's a city, man, that has a culture of jazz. So, I grew up listening to his music in Buffalo.
So what other music did you listen to, like jazz specifically, that got you really hooked on jazz?
The other musician that really, really made an impact in my life is Dr. Lonnie Smith. And I call him my Hammond dad, because we both have the last name Smith, and he's also endorsed by Hammond Organ. And listening to him, and of course Joey and Papa Joe, and there's so many guys. And then of course I love just the Hammond organ sound. So I was really, really, really heavy into hearing that sound, man, from a lot of great jazz players who really knew how to take the organ to the next level.
So it's obvious that the church is a big part of your life. It's a part of your day job.
Oh, yeah.
Also something that you had mentioned early on in your life. So how did the church and how did music and how did all that blend into who you are and what you do today?
So my dad was a pastor, and his grandfather, and I come from a family of preachers and pastors. My dad was a pastor in Buffalo, New York, and I started playing at the age of 7. And my parents gave my sister Sweet 16 birthday party, and my mom and dad bought her this little Casio keyboard that I still have today. And while they were downstairs, because I was too young to go down there, while they were downstairs having fun, I was upstairs with the Casio keyboard, and I started playing that night. So I grew up playing in my dad's church, and then I would play in church. So that's why particularly my sound is really as a heavy gospel, bluesy sound. And so that night when we did the live recording, I surrounded myself with some of the best jazz musicians you could ever find. And so that's why I think partly people are really amazed by the energy that's in this particular jazz album, because it's not like your typical jazz album, you're really getting, jazz, blues, and gospel, that raw sound all mixed in one. But it was growing up in my dad's church, man, just playing on Sundays and learning from other gospel musicians, Eric Reed, and who was a musical mentor of mine in the city of Buffalo, Tony Rose, another artist in Buffalo. And, we just gelled together, and we would just practice and learn, man. It just really changed my life.
So talk to me about, you have a different life as a pastor, but talk to me about your life as a jazz musician and how it's led to today, and then talk to me about, where you're living and what you're doing as a pastor.
So as a jazz musician, man, I grew up in the church, so my musical ability, being able to cross over, if you will, it just allows me to really, express my music, express my playing to a whole different audience of people, man. I get to meet so many people around the world, and just different genres, different nationalities. I'm just a diverse person. I love people, and my music, being able to play jazz and or blues, just even as a pastor, I pastor a church in the city of Conyers, Georgia, the Effective Life Church, one of the greatest churches in the world, man. But I'm not in a religious box, man. I'm really not. I'm just, I'm a little different. I love people, and so through my music, I try to express, because a lot of times, man, people are listening, and they're at different jazz festivals and different jazz clubs, whatever. But they deal with so much in life. There's so many things going on in the world. So when they hear me play, I want them to be uplifted, man. I want them to be, feel love, feel the vibration, get on that frequency that makes them feel like anything is possible. So I think, my faith and belief and my relationship, it just causes me to be able to bless people, man, to kind of lift them up and take them higher so they can vibrate higher, man, and just be on a different level. So it's a blessing. It's a blessing to be able to play this kind of music, but yet be who I am and be authentic, and not, I'm in nobody's religious box, man. I'm out here loving everybody and trying to bless everybody through my music.
Why do you love jazz?
I love jazz because it's different. I love it because of it's out of the box. Like, when you listen to jazz or you play jazz, you can really go anywhere you want to go. You can really just do anything you want to do, and I love that. I mean, the jazz is the one particular style of music and genre of music that is not like anything else. You can really just move as you feel, and you get to express yourself as a musician. And that's the kind of musician I am. That's the kind of, Hammond B-3 player I am. I sit down, man, and I get to express how I feel within the whole genre of jazz, and there's no limitations of where you can go.
So what's next after this album for you?
Man, what's next after this album? We really want to push the album and take it all across the world. And I'm going to do more music. I'm going to keep writing and keep producing more music and keep producing this style, man, from that raw, incredible Hammond B-3, man. I want to keep producing music and just really producing a great sound that really, helps, transcend, the cultures and bring people together, man.
So everyone has a version of you, your family, your friends, those that you preach to, everyone around you. But you know yourself best. Who do you think you are?
Man, that's a great question. That sounds like a book title. Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are?
Who do you think you are, man? I am Jimmie Smith, I am a lover of people. I am effective. That's who I am. I'm not perfect, but I am effective. I am a person who loves everybody. So who do I think I am? I think I am effective. I think I'm great. I think I am a loving person. I am what has been called the champion of the underdog. So I am the one who pays attention to people who kind of like been forgot about, or what we call underdogs, or people who have been, you know, kind of like looked over and paid on. I'm the one who feel like everybody should win. Everybody should win. Nobody should be left out. Everybody on this God green earth have all been born with seeds of greatness, and everybody has the potential to win. And I am a promoter of that.
That's a triumphant way to wrap everything up. Jimmie, thank you for the music. I look forward to seeing what's next, and thank you for opening up about your life in music. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, man. Thanks for having me, man.
Thanks for listening and tuning in to yet another Neon Jazz interview, where we give you a bit of insight into the finest players in Atlanta, Kansas City, and spots all over the globe, giving fans all that jazz. And thanks to Jimmie for his cool, his music, and his time. If you want to hear more interviews, go to Famous Interviews with Joe Domino on the iTunes Store. Visit neonjazz at youtube.com. And for everything Neon Jazz, go to the neonjazz.blogspot.com. Until next time, enjoy the jazz, my friends.
Neon Jazz.